Okay, what was that one thing you simply couldn't wait for when you were a kid? My bet would be growing up. Because grown-ups always do exactly what they want, right? Well, no. In reality, many desires that adults have are dictated by the stereotypes and false values of the society we live in. For example, number 1. Am I worse than celebrities? Nowadays, psychologists have noticed an interesting phenomenon which has to do with imitating the lifestyle of the rich and famous. In other words, ordinary people try really hard to live like those who don't have to worry about money at all. And as you can guess, it doesn't go well. Obviously, if you're from a small town, you probably won't have a wardrobe full of designer clothes and hop from plane to plane traveling all around the world. But constantly looking at gorgeous celebrities and their fancy lives on social media causes us to make constant comparisons. I'm not going to say that being rich isn't fun, but it does have its advantages for sure. But never forget that you only get to see a pretty picture, and no one knows what's really behind it. Celebrities are still just humans and have different problems like you, me, and everyone else. That's why comparing your life to the life of those who seem to be more successful is a direct way to feeling disappointed in yourself and nothing else. Learning to appreciate what you have is the most important thing that brings us happiness. Number 2. Social media craze. So, when was the last time you checked your social media? Yeah, we all do it more often than we should. But some people don't just want to see what others are up to. They also want to show what their lives look like. And of course, from the most flattering angle. Because nowadays, a lot of people tend to believe that the more beautiful photos someone posts, the more interesting their life is. And that's how you end up seeing awesome-looking pictures from that party that was actually such a drag. Or a picture of a happy couple eating out at a fancy restaurant. But in reality, they didn't enjoy the food. Or maybe the food was amazingly delicious, but they were so busy taking pictures of it that they had to eat it cold. They simply want to brag about their lives to others, and feel bad if their posts don't get a lot of positive feedback. Such people think that capturing the moments with a camera is more important than living in and embracing that experience. Number 3. Tough parenthood. I think you'd agree with me that being a parent is the most difficult job ever. And it seems like it just gets tougher and tougher, since so many people feel pressured to abandon their own strategies in the parenting game. TV shows and magazine covers are full of families with perfect kids who never misbehave or cry. But as we all know, perfection is just an illusion. Still, a lot of people constantly push themselves to the limits when it comes to parenting, without realizing how harmful it might be, both for them and their children. Such parents are so worried about their kids all the time, they don't have enough time for themselves. They feel emotionally exhausted on a daily basis. And the truth is that a miserable parent probably can't raise a happy kid. As for children, having overprotective parents is far from easy. Kids need the chance to be independent and find out what they really want in life. Number 4. Is your profession good enough? Finding your vocation is truly important. Yeah, I said vocation, not vacation, guys. Having a job that's fulfilling and important in your eyes is one of the biggest sources of happiness. But for some reason, many people divide jobs into good and, well, less good. Being a banker seems like a very respectable profession in our society, but what's the point of it if it doesn't bring you joy? Maybe that person would be much happier if they worked as a hairdresser or a barista. Still, some people believe that jobs that don't necessarily require a college degree are less reputable. But having a college degree isn't a straight way to success. Some people go to college when they're too young to figure out what they really want to do in life. Later, some of them will simply change their work path, choosing completely different professions. And that's totally okay. Because your job is to find a job that you fully enjoy, without worrying if your parents or friends will think it's good enough. Number 5. Bring me my first million. Okay, here's a question for you. What would you do if you had $1 million? Let me know down in the comments. Being rich is definitely fun, but in reality, People have to work really hard and long to achieve it. For some reason, though, our society promotes the idea of easy success that doesn't involve tough work and comes pretty quickly. People who support it aren't usually willing to climb the career ladder slowly and steadily. They want it all right away. But unfortunately, life isn't a fairy tale where you get everything you desire overnight. To become a real professional, a person has to learn their work field in depth and dedicate a lot of time to building their work reputation. Still, some people keep challenging jobs, hoping to find one where money and success will simply fall into their hands without much effort. Number 6. A person can't be happy without a nice apartment, a new car, and the latest version of cell phone. Let's be honest, buying new stuff feels nice. That's just the way our brain is wired. It releases dopamine, the hormone that makes us feel happy, not only after we've spent money on something, but even before it. Simply anticipating the purchase puts you in a good mood. Ever been in a situation where you came to the mall just for one thing, but ended up with a few extras? Yeah, definitely sounds familiar to me. So, what's so bad about treating yourself to the new good stuff, you might ask? Well, the short answer is absolutely nothing. Nothing wrong in doing things that give you pleasure, unless it breaks your bank account. What's the point in buying the latest version of cell phone if you have to take a loan for it? Or in getting a new car that you keep in your garage since its maintenance is too expensive? But some people feel that they simply have to get those things just because everyone else does. What's more, consumerism, this insatiable hunger for buying things, has clouded the minds of a lot of people, and they don't have any other source of happiness. They've forgotten how to enjoy something that doesn't cost a dime, like walking in the park to admire nature or playing with a pet. Number 7. Natural makeup that takes 2 hours. We all want to look our best, right? That's one of the reasons why people use makeup. Thankfully, the makeup fashion has changed a lot, promoting a more natural style. But still, it expects everyone to look flawless, which means that they still have to spend a lot of time in front of the mirror because that natural look ironically requires a lot of effort. Many people fall for the idea that being beautiful means being aware of the latest trends and being able to apply makeup at the level of a professional makeup artist. But is it really? Others, who are able to look beyond this trend, learn to feel confident about their actual natural beauty and save time and money not using makeup products. Number 8. What's your next destination? That's the question I hear more and more often these days. Where are you going to spend your vacation? Are you going out of town for the next weekend? And so on and so forth. People feel awkward telling others that they didn't plan any fantastic trip. Somehow traveling has become the new big thing, as if everyone should be obsessed with the desire to see the world. Don't get me wrong, I think traveling is a great way to explore the world. But there are also people who don't like leaving their home, or think it's not the best way to invest money. They're pretty comfortable without changing their location and scenery. But with this new trend for traveling, some of them feel as if they're missing out if they don't travel a lot. And others take an active part in a silent competition. Who's visited more countries? Whichever you are, the important thing is that you're happy where you're at. Number 9. It's all about your comfort. Modern society keeps promoting the idea that a person should do everything possible to fulfill all their desires and goals. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in reality, quite often it means not paying attention to the needs of others, because everyone's fighting for their own comfort. While this philosophy does make sense in some way, since we only have ourselves to count on, it seems alarming that so many people refuse to spend their precious time on helping others. It feels as if a new trend has taken over, a trend for indifference. But in so many situations, giving a helping hand to someone who needs it isn't difficult at all. So hey, why not do it? My bottom line? Strive to be a people, not a sheeple. Don't worry about trends and being like everyone else. There's no one else like you on the planet. So, polish you, make you bright and shiny. because you can only be a second best someone else. So what usually helps you make a decision? Let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share it with a friend. But hey, don't go keeping up with the Joneses just yet. We have over 2,000 cool videos for you to check out. All you have to do is pick the left or right video, click on it, and enjoy. Stay on the bright side of life.